Self-defense is too violent. Not if it's done the right way. So if self-defense is done properly and you're being taught properly at all, you will be taught to avoid the conflict before it has a chance to get going. Um, Somebody a few weeks ago was talking to me and they said, what would you do in like a full-on brawl? And I said, I wouldn't let it get that far. Their immediate reaction was, oh, you well-had you. Actually took my colleague to say, that's not what he meant. He's saying he can talk things down. That's where it should be. So self-defense is too violent. Well, there's a quick burst of violence to drop you on your ass, then we stamp on the ankle, then we run like fuck. That to me is not violent, that is necessity. You're mandating that I do this by your action. Because by the time I get to that point, I'll have already said, mate, look, I really don't want you to let me go my way, yeah? That hasn't worked. Then I've gone the other way, I've pushed you back and said, mate, if you force me to do this, I'll rip your fucking head off. That hasn't worked. You've left me with no ulterior option. I have to now go. You've left me with no choice but to fucking lamp you. So there's a quick burst of violence, but it's minimal. The whole rest of it is de-escalation. It's awareness. It's avoidance. It's escape patterns. It's body language assessment. It's looking at statement analysis. It's all stuff, as I've mentioned in other clips, it's all stuff that can help you in other aspects of your life. So it's a bit of violent, it's a bit of not violent. That's the nature of the world we live in. If you think that self-defense techniques are too violent, you're going to absolutely fucking cry blood when you see the violence put on people in attacks. So personally, from that point of view, I think it's better to get comfortable with the level of violence of boom, fucking stay down. That's more appealing to people, more palatable, I think, than the full-on back and forth nature of a violent attack where you don't know what you're doing, so you will reach out and grab onto anything to hit the person with, such as a glass, half a brick, a bottle, whatever it might be. So when someone says self-defense is too violent, I would be very interested to see what self-defense clubs and techniques you are talking about specifically, because there are some people out there who, unfortunately, what they teach is not self-defense. They teach having a bash and just bashing the fuck out of people for no good reason. And that's not what we do. That's not self-defense. That's not the philosophy of keeping yourself and the people you're with safe. So self-defense itself is not violent, but the way some people promote it or portray it could be.